All right, so we're diving deep today into the Players' Championship and what made this year's tournament so interesting.
Yeah.
We've got all of your internet searches.
Oh, cool.
Like everything from, playoff to spawn golfer. And we're going to use them to kind of piece together what went on in this major golf event.
Oh, that's really interesting because, it shows not only the tournament itself,
Right.
but how people were experiencing it.
I see.
You know what I mean? Like what caught their eye as they were watching.
Right. What were they trying to understand
Yeah.
as it was unfolding?
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Okay.
The name JJ Spawn pops up in a lot of these searches. So
Okay.
he's going to be our main character in this story, right?
Absolutely. He is the 2025 Players Champion, JJ Spawn.
Wow.
Yeah. And you might be surprised to learn that he wasn't exactly a favorite going into this.
Really? I don't recognize his name like I do some of the other big names in golf. So it sounds like this wasn't just a walk in the park for him.
Not at all.
Okay.
We see a lot of searches around playoff,
Okay.
which tells us this thing came down to the wire,
Uh-huh.
and not just any playoff.
Yeah.
This was a 3-hole aggregate playoff,
Okay.
which adds a whole other layer of pressure on top of everything else.
A 3-hole aggregate.
Yeah.
So instead of sudden death where one amazing shot can win it all,
Yeah.
you're saying every single stroke over 3 holes counts towards who wins.
Exactly. Yeah. And it really makes every single shot so important.
Wow.
You're not just trying to beat your opponent on that one hole.
Right.
You're trying to build a lead over 3 holes.
It's intense.
It is. And you can see from the searches, people were really glued to this finish.
What kind of things are we seeing?
We see things like, what time is the playoff?
Okay.
Where to watch Players' Championship?
Wow. So people were really scrambling to see this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Must have been so nerve-wracking for the players.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every putt must have felt like so much pressure.
Oh, for sure.
So did our searches give us any clues about how Spawn managed to pull this off?
Well, what's interesting is we see searches like Spawn Golfer,
Right.
Spawn PGA.
Huh?
This suggests that a lot of people weren't all that familiar with him before this win.
I see.
And we're kind of scrambling to learn more after he ended up at the top.
So this is a real underdog story.
Yeah, I think so.
It makes you wonder, did people start rooting for him just because he was the underdog?
Right.
Does a surprise win like this change how we think about who to watch in the next tournament?
That's a great question. And I think it gets to the heart of why Spawn's victory was so compelling.
Okay.
He wasn't a household name.
Right.
He wasn't at the top of the rankings.
Right.
But he was able to kind of conquer one of golf's toughest tests.
Totally. And it definitely challenges that idea that, only the biggest names can win these major championships.
Exactly.
So what does Spawn's journey tell us about, the state of professional golf today?
Well, it might be too early to say if it signals a huge shift in the landscape of golf,
Okay.
but it definitely highlights just the depth of talent on the PGA Tour. And it's a good reminder that there are some really great players out there
Right.
ready to seize their moment, even if they haven't been in the spotlight before.
Wow. So even with limited information, we uncovered a pretty incredible story here.
We did.
JJ Spawn, a name a lot of people might not have known before,
Right.
emerges victorious from this intense 3-hole playoff at the 2025 Players' Championship.
Yeah.
And his unexpected win is making people kind of rethink what it takes to succeed at the highest level of golf.
It really is. I mean, Spawn's victory kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So does this make you rethink who to watch in future tournaments?
Mm,
Are the underdogs becoming a real threat?
that's a good question.
Something to think about as we watch this next generation of golfers kind of tee off into the future.
For sure. All right. Well, that's our deep dive on the 2025 Players' Championship.
Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in,
Thanks for having me.
and we'll catch you next time.